Hey guys, welcome back. We're back for more Amityville, this time with Amityville 3D. Yeah. Better watch out, because this movie is intense. I'll tell you that right now. There's frisbees being thrown at the screen and shit. You're like trying to watch the Amityville, but they're throwing shit at you left and right, because this thing is in 3D. Obviously, of the time. So Amityville 3D, directed by Richard Fleischer. It's about this reporter who works for this, what do you want to call it? Like a Skeptics magazine type thing, where he is doing an investigation into these fake psychics in the Amityville house, and then ends up purchasing the house for rather cheap, and then perhaps some supernatural hijinks goes down. This movie stars Meg Ryan, a little bit in there, and Lori Loughlin before she started scamming colleges or whatever she did before that. And a guy who sort of looks like Ron Perlman, but is not nearly as charismatic. It's like boring Ron Perlman. And it's not so great. It has its moments, though. Much like the other ones, it has its moments. The movie opens with a really interesting sequence where we're doing this seance inside the Amityville house. And if you hadn't seen the movie, it's kind of cool because it twists on your expectations. Because right away you're getting all this supernatural stuff, and then lo and behold, it was all a scam, and they reveal the trickery behind how these people are like manipulating people for money and creating the supernatural thing. So it's cool because you're like, oh, this is going to be a science versus superstition kind of movie, which is smart because all the other Amityville movies want you to buy into like, oh, the devil, blah, 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 all this supernatural crap, right? And this could take a different route there. Either it could go out where it explains the actual murders not being supernaturally influenced, or it's convincing to this guy who has a very rational, science approach to this stuff. Unfortunately, they went a little crazy with the 3D. I get it, you got a gimmick, it's kind of fun, but like I said, I don't need all the frisbees being thrown at my face and shit. Flies are coming at me all the time. It is hamstrung by the 3D gimmick a little bit because it feels like sequences are put in the movie just to exploit that gimmick as opposed to actually having a thoughtful reason for being there. But that aside, the movie also gets ridiculous and stupid a lot of times. They also hint at lore. In the second one, there's a line, I believe, where they mentioned that the house was built over a Native American burial ground. Someone saw the poltergeists. And in this one, they explore that idea even more. And now there is a well in the house where a demon creature lives under the water. I guess that's the Native American burials ground. It's a little creature guy. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. Much like many of the endings of Amityville movies, they just don't make any sense. But there's a couple really cool sequences. There is a sequence where a woman crashes her car and burns alive in her car. It's effective. When she catches on fire a little bit, it's like, oh shit, this is intense. Her screaming and stuff, like it was effective. But it also speaks to more about the logistics of the movie because no longer are we contained to the Amityville house. Hell no. I think it's the 3D element. The ghosts are now able to get out and fuck with your cars and stuff. Although a little bit of that stuff happened in the other movies, so it's not really that different, I guess. But it's so like over the top in this one that it makes you think about it, and you're like, how is that happening? I thought that was the house that's haunted. If it's not the house, then what is it? And we'll find out in Amityville 4. Sort of, maybe. I'm not fully through it yet, but I hope we find out. But anyways, so we have a diminishing return here kind of thing because, well, it's the third one, so we've done a bunch of the house tropes, so we need to keep twisting on that. And like I said, they did a good job at the opening twisting on those expectations. But, it's the same setup. Essentially, somebody moves into a house unknowingly that is haunted, and then hauntings occur. So you got some similar stuff. You got flies, you got doors shutting, you got all that kind of crap. So it's just, again, diminishing returns. We've seen it so far in the first two movies. Now, granted, these movies came out spaced apart, and I'm watching them all in a row, so I feel that effect a bit more, probably. There's a sequence in the movie where Lori Loughlin dies that I thought was rather well done, especially the acting of the mother and the father, where the mother is just unable to face the fact that her daughter died. It was, again, effective. It was a little tragic. Not little, it was actually really tragic, and it was a little sad. So I thought that sequence was well done. Later on, though, when Lori Loughlin turns into a glowing blue orb and a little goblin creature man pops out of a well, I'm like, maybe not so much of that, because it's a little cheesy. And then, you know, at the end of the movie, the whole house blows the hell up. And that about wraps up the Amityville series, you would think. But I guess not, considering there's like 35 more movies. We'll have to find out what happened to the Amityville house after it blew up. All in all, not a great movie. Everything is a step down here. Like, production quality, step down. Story, step down. Effects, not so great. Just everything is a step down from the original, too. The 3D stuff, it's silly. And it does actually hurt the story a little bit. So, I don't know. I give this a 5 out of 10. It's a... That's just average. I'd give this a 5 out of 10. It's average. If you're big into Amityville movies, maybe check it out. Otherwise, I'd probably pass on this.